I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I did a video on 10 fears you must conquer. But one of the fears I conquered that really helped me in life was the fear of death. Fear of death. I didn't know how it came into my mind from childhood. I feared death. I always wondered what death looked like. And there are some times when I was young, when it is rainy or raining, I would be wondering. So if somebody dies and they bury the person now, and then he suddenly wakes up in the coffin, how will he do? What will he do? And all that. But you see, thank God I got born again. When I got born again, the fear of man left my life. And then the fear of death left my life. I am a very careful driver. I'm a very security conscious person. I don't eat in public. I don't drink anything in public. I'm always very, very careful. But I am not reckless. I'm not reckless. But I conquered the fear of death. And that conquest helped me to take some drastic decisions, some risky decisions that enabled me to reach where I am today. The nation of Israel has been able to achieve so much military might and feat and secured herself because they are precautionary and because the Israeli Defense Forces don't fear death and they don't fear to take risks. That's why, despite their small population, they are still there. I was reading about the capture of the Golan Heights, an Israeli soldier. I don't support all the policies of Israel, but I admire them as a nation. An Israeli soldier, a tank driver, he was involved in a battle, I think during the Yom Kippur War or during the Yom Kippur War, and he suffered a high degree of burns and he was discharged from the army. He falsified his medical report so as to join the army of his nation again, the Israeli Defense Forces. And they were in the Golan Heights, and he was the commander of a tank brigade. And they were overwhelmed numerically by Syrian tanks, shooting at them everywhere. They had the option of retreating and they would die retreating. And he told his colleagues, "You cowards, will you die in your tanks? I am charging forward. If you want to follow me, follow me. If you want to go backward, go backward." And he charged forward. And he was shooting at the other tanks and blowing them up like fireworks. That contributed to how they conquered the Golan Heights. If he was afraid of death, the Golan Heights would not have been conquered. And so, when I went to the east, I was able to take some decisions, risky decisions, that enabled me to break through. When I resigned from the hospital where I was working, and I started practice in the same area of Abaogbo Hill, I opened satellite clinics in Iwukem, in Okanafun. People thought that I will be nervous and I will be frightened. No, I wasn't. I went and got a gun, a security man with a gun to guard my house. And I dared into the communities, into Ika. After Bala, Ibeme went into Ika. People dread and fear Ika. I will go as far as Odore Court, go inside, carry patients, bring them down, do surgery. I was going into Ungwa land very far to see patients. I was not scared. And when I started importing cars, 3 unnumbered cars from Belgium, I would drive throughout the night with those cars, with 2 drivers, to reach Abak, 5:30 a.m. There are police roadblocks, everything. I was not scared. The pursuit of today strengthened my heart. There were decisions I took, places I went to. When I was selling fish meal, we imported fish meal from Pakistan. I would carry fish meal, go to Enugu. One of the days I supplied fish meal. I didn't know that Enugu people sleep on time. There was no vehicle to come back to Aba. I looked for a panel beater in a mechanic workshop and slept with him till daybreak. I didn't know him. If I was afraid he would kill me, I wouldn't have. The day I went started ministry, I slept in a motor park in Ijebu Ode. My wife stayed awake while I slept in a motor park. I just heard somebody playing Igbo music, and I went there. I spoke Igbo to him, and I slept there. When I imported a Mercedes-Benz bus, I had never driven it before. I drove it in Lagos. Drove it. We got to Ajebamidele. Then the top cylinder gasket got burnt. We repaired it there. I drove 10 o'clock in the night, got to Ore by around 12. I slept on the floor of that bus while Pastor Felix Ahe, my business partner and my pastor, stayed awake. Got up in the morning by 5. I drove to Aba. So I conquered the fear of death because there is a glorious hope and a glorious future in Christ. That's one thing that being born again has helped me. In those days when I go to speak, I would tell my wife, I'm going with the 2 shoes I had then. I would tell her, if they arrest me from here, go and take care of the children. I had preached in Aba and assassins came to look for me. But my wife was nervous. Please, the children. I said, my friend, there was a day I was coming from Abuja. I went to get a visa to travel to see my son in Romania. For the first time, I was entering Europe. That was 2012. My wife would call me, where are you? Where are you? I told her, please stop calling me. We are the people that make the road dangerous. You see, once you can conquer the fear of death, there is nothing you cannot achieve. And it is a commandment. Do not be afraid of them that can kill this body, but cannot kill the soul. Only be afraid of him who can kill this body and cast your soul into hell. So I don't fear man. I don't fear what man can do to me. Don't fear it. No, I don't fear it. I'm careful. I'm conscious. I'm rational and realistic. But the fear of death has not held me bound. Fear of witches, no. Fear of wizards, no. Those are kindergarten levels of operation of the devil. Are you paralyzed by the fear of death? It's a disease state when you keep fearing death. It can affect your inside. I was having funny symptoms when I was working in UBTH because I was always seeing people dying at B1 thing, they call it mortuary extension. People would just be dying, old people would just come. I had people that They were unconscious, died. They just died. And the fear of death came into me. Ambulance came to carry me to see a patient. I collapsed. And I went to hospital as a patient. I resigned. And God helped me. I got born again during the youth service. And suddenly, the world became more beautiful. And I could see opportunities that fear would have hindered me from achieving. Conquer the fear of death, and you will start living. I am Dr. Charles Apoki. Remember, I have a webinar coming up on the 10th and on the 11th of January to start hit the ground running financially 2025. Send a message to +234 80 21 21 92 62. God bless you. Fear is a paralyzer.